Welcome to yoga, everyone. I am Delia, for those of you who may not know me, and we are going to start seated today. So we're going to get into the hips and the legs, also the low back a little bit. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat of your choice. You can sit up on a prop. I always like the support of a bolster, but you can always sit on a block or a folded blanket, even just a little bit of a lift off the floor. So a folded towel right under the hips can help to take some pressure off the low back when you're sitting up nice and tall. So go ahead and find your comfortable seat. And then just take a minute when you arrive to find any movement you might need. So maybe shifting the weight in the hips side to side, front and back, kind of noticing where you're carrying the weight, where you're holding it. And by that, I just mean where your natural tendency is to lean. So I have a tendency to lean way forward when I'm seated. So I have to remind myself to lean back into my tailbone a little bit, but you may lean more to one side or the other. So just noticing. Maybe finding a little movement in the head and neck. Maybe rolling the shoulders a couple of times. These little movements before we enter into stillness are just designed to help you feel like you're arriving in your body, arriving in this space. So maybe rolling the wrists a couple of times or reaching up through the arms. Just any last little movements that are going to help to make you feel like you've arrived here in your body on the mat. And then when you're ready, go ahead and soften or close the eyes. Finding a place of stillness in the body. And beginning to tune into the rhythm of your breath. And beginning to notice the rise and fall of the breath. A lot of times yoga teachers or yoga practitioners will liken it to the rise and fall of ocean waves, and I like that metaphor quite a bit. Ocean waves can be gentle, just barely an ebb and flow, or they can be more powerful as we start to get into more movement. So seeing right now if you can just begin to deepen the natural breath, only as much as is comfortable for you. So just focusing on lengthening each inhale and each exhale just a little bit more. Seeing if you can draw each inhale all the way down into the belly. Feeling this natural rise in the body with the inhale, this natural sort of lift. And then noticing as the exhale has this gentle fall, this gentle settling sensation, helping you become more grounded in the hips, more relaxed in the shoulders and face. And give yourself 3 more deep belly breaths here. And if you have any intention or dedication or a mantra that you would like to keep in mind for your practice today, maybe take a few moments here during your last couple of breaths in stillness to think about that. This can be as simple as just one word. We're practicing this in the morning, but other people practicing along with the recording may be practicing at different times of day. But if it is the morning when you're practicing, maybe just think of one word that describes how you want your day to go. Maybe you want to feel calm today. Maybe you want to feel centered. Maybe you want to find ease as you move through your tasks later off the mat. And take one more deep breath here, sealing in any intention or dedication that you might have. And then gently beginning to find some movement in the fingers and the toes. Maybe taking a couple of circles with the wrists. And then reversing the direction. And then allowing the eyes to open if they're still closed. And go ahead and in your comfortable seat, make sure that you have your right foot forward. So if you have to reverse, that's okay. So if you're sitting with your legs out in front of you and you're not cross-legged, that's okay. Just stay where you are. But if you are sitting cross-legged, go ahead and put that right foot in front. And then let's inhale, reach the arms up. And then go ahead and release that right hand either to the mat or to your bolster, wherever's comfortable for you. And we're going to find a side bend. And maybe find a little gentle movement in the neck here, turning the head side to side, maybe rotating that left wrist. And then inhale, come back up, reach that left hand, and we're going to take a twist to our right. So left hand comes to the right leg, right hand can come behind the hip on the floor or on your prop. And we're really not trying to crank into it. We're just taking a gentle twist here to warm up the spine, sitting up nice and tall, imagining lifting from the top of the head, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Take one more breath here. And then slowly unwind, come back to center. And let's inhale, reach the arms up. And on your exhale, find a gentle forward fold. So if you're sitting on a prop, you may need to scoot a little bit. I'm on my bolster, so I'm actually going to remove my bolster. Just allowing the head to hang in your forward fold. Maybe giving the head and neck a little gentle shake side to side. You can rock a little bit on your palms here on the fingertips. And then if it feels okay for your back, for your shoulders, go ahead and walk both hands over to the left. Letting go of the head, it should be nice and heavy. And then walk your hands through center over to the right. Feel that left hip anchoring you down so both sit bones should still be on the mat. And walk the hands back to center. Take one breath here in center. And then gently walk the hands back up, coming back up to your nice tall spine. And we're going to switch the legs. So this time take the left foot in front if you're sitting cross-legged. And then let's inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, release that left hand to the mat. Find your side bend. And maybe find a little movement in the neck here by turning the head gently side to side. Maybe rolling that right wrist if that feels good. And on your next inhale, let's sit up nice and tall. Reach through the right hands, lengthen the spine, and exhale, take your twist. Really light pressure on those back fingertips. So you really don't want to be leaning hard into that left hand at all. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Hug in the belly button just a little bit to help you in the twist. And then slowly come back to center. Let's inhale, reach the hands up one more time, and exhale, find that forward fold. And again, maybe sway a little side to side if that feels good. You can shake the head in yes and no very gently. And then this time, let's walk the hands over to the right. Softening the head and neck, soften the muscles of the face. And then walk the hands through center over to the left. And take those hands back to center. Take one big breath here. And then walk the hands gently back. All right. So let's go ahead and take our feet wide. So take the feet as wide as your yoga mat at least. It's okay if the toes spill off the edge, that's no problem. And we're gonna start to take some windshield wipers with the knees. So dropping them side to side, nice and slow. And then the next time that the knees are to the right, we're gonna keep them there. And I'm actually gonna turn sideways so you can see a little bit what I'm doing. So if you are lined up with your mat lengthwise, then you want to have that right leg, the knee is coming right out of the hip. So it's in a straight line and your shin is parallel to the short end of your mat or as close as possible. And then that left leg, same thing, you want it to be coming directly out of the hip. So right angle with the knee and the hip. And then your shin is going to be parallel to the long end of your mat. And then we're going to take the hands behind us. This is a very deep hip stretch. So this might be enough for you, even just being right here. You're trying to gently press that left hip down. So if this is causing you any pain or discomfort, come forward a little. You can even maybe keep the hands in front. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, you're going to walk the hands back almost at an angle. So kind of directly back. And you're going to lean a little bit. You can have a bend in the elbow. Don't collapse too much in the chest. So you want to really lift the chest. And you're just trying to lean gently a little bit more into that left hip. So keep the feet nice and active here. You want to protect the knees. Again, if this is causing you any trouble in the knees at all, any pain or pinching, come out of it. Give it 2 more deep, deep breaths here. See if you can use the exhales to soften a little bit more in that left hip. And then nice and slow, start to walk the hands forward again. Very slowly, I'm going to turn to face you. I'm going to cross my right leg in front of me, and I'm going to stack my left ankle on top of my right knee. So again, if this is too much on the knee, and you don't have to get your shins parallel. So your left knee may be up like this. That's totally fine. If this is uncomfortable, just take that left foot back in front like we did before. So just a gentle cross. So either stacked or crossed. If your legs are stacked, go ahead and flex that left foot. You really want to protect the knee. And wherever you are, crossed in front or stacked, sit up nice and tall. Inhale. And then exhale. Find a gentle fold. So maybe you're folding all the way down. Maybe you're just taking the chin towards the chest and leaning a little bit forward. You can also place the hands forward. This is a deep, intense hip stretch. So really moving into it carefully, listening to your body and coming out if you go in too far. And breathing into the back of that hip. You may find after a couple of breaths that you can go a little bit further. You may find that you may have to back off. If you feel like you're really pressing against the floor, or you're really holding tightly, come out of it a little bit. That means you've gone in a little bit too much. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then slowly walk yourself back up if you were folded. Go ahead and uncross the legs. Take your feet as wide as your mat, and let's do those windshield wipers again. And we're going to take the other side. So we're moving into deer pose, which is what this deep hip stretch is called. So I'm going to turn so that my left shin is parallel to the short edge of my mat, and my left knee is coming straight out of the hip, or as straight as possible. And then I'm going to look at my right hip and make sure my knee is coming directly out from it. And my right shin is going to be parallel to the long end of my mat. So I know it's a little bit of a brain teaser here. And then maybe staying up like this, maybe just sitting into that right hip a little bit. Each hip is different. So this is my tighter side. So I can only sit just a little tiny bit without feeling any pinching. And that's fine. Maybe you want to stay upright here, or maybe you want to walk your hands further back, hugging the shoulder blades together a little bit, opening the chest. It's okay if the left knee is not touching the mat completely. You do want to try and drop that right knee as much as possible. If it's not touching as well, that's also okay. Just as much as is possible. Breathing here. If it's too intense, if it's too much, walk the hands back a little, come out of it a little bit. Make sure you're taking those deep, full belly breaths. Take 2 more. And then nice and slow, engage the core to help you here. Start to walk the hands forward. And we're going to come out of it, move nice and slowly. We held that for a little longer than we normally would. And you're either going to just take the legs crossed in front with that right foot in front this time, or you're going to stack with the right ankle stacking over that left knee. So your shins should be on top of each other and your feet are flexed here if you're stacked. And again, if that knee is lifted, that's no problem. If this is how you are, as long as both sit bones are on the mat, that's totally okay. You can still fold in this position. You're still getting a great hip stretch. So wherever's comfortable for you, inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, start to find a fold, even if you're staying upright and it's just a tuck of the chin towards the chest. If you want to go a little further and walk the hands out in front of you, that's totally fine. Make sure that your tailbone is still in contact with the mat. And breathe. Take some deep, deep, full breaths into that hip. And again, if that right knee is more lifted than mine is, that's okay. You may not be able to fold as much, maybe just taking the hands in front or even on the legs. Give it one more deep, deep breath here. And then nice and slow, start to walk the hands back. Coming back and up. Go ahead and uncross the legs wherever they were. Do one more set of windshield wipers. And then we're going to move into our table. So taking your time, moving aside any props that you don't need, grabbing any that you might need. Coming into table, patting the knees or the wrists if you need to, or both. Stacking the hips right over the knees. Shoulders can be over the wrists, or the wrists can be just a couple of inches in front. Pressing all 10 knuckles down, pressing the tops of the toes into your mat. Let's inhale, drop the belly, open the heart. And exhale, round through the spine. Chin draws to chest. Keep this going, moving through cat-cow with your own breath. Noticing if you're bending into the elbows here, you really want to keep the elbows pretty straight. I do tend to bend mine a little bit because my elbows hyperextend. So you don't want to lock the elbows out. So I'm always trying to remember to bend a little tiny bit. Moving with that wave of the breath. Take 2 more rounds. And last round. And let's come back to our table. Go ahead and keep that left hand planted. We're going to inhale, send the right fingertips up. And exhale, thread the needle, right arm under the left. Finding any comfortable version here. Releasing the right side of the head to the mat or a block. Left arm can stay bent, the hand can stay by the head, or you can extend it towards the top of the mat. Imagine drawing that right hip back. And you're using that right arm on the floor to gently help you open the chest. If you need a more active version of this pose, you can extend that left leg as well, curling the toes under on the floor. Taking some deep, deep, full breaths here. Seeing if you can find places to soften. Give it one more breath. And if the leg was lifted, go ahead and rebend the knee. Draw that left hand back if it was extended. Use it to help you press back up to table. And we're going to re-extend that right arm. So lift it back up. And then set it down. Let's take the other side. Right hand stays planted. We're trying to keep the hips square and pointed down. As you inhale, send the left arm up. And exhale, thread the needle. Left arm under the right. Releasing the back of that left hand to the mat. Right arm can stay bent with the hand by the head, or you can extend it. You can also extend that right leg if you'd like. Imagine drawing that left hip crease back. Gently opening the chest. And breathing wherever you are. Maybe using the back of the right hand on the floor to gently help you open the chest a little bit more. And then rebending the knee if the leg was extended, rebending that right arm, using it to help you press back up. Let's re-extend that left hand up towards the ceiling and release it down towards the mat. All right, from here, let's curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, find your downward dog. Take a moment here to make any adjustments you need. Make sure you're still pressing into the knuckles, into the fingertips. Maybe take your dog for a little walk, bending one knee at a time, nice and slow. Maybe sending the hips side to side as you do this. You can even look under each arm. And then come to stillness in the center. Knees can be bent as much as you'd like. Press the tailbone back. Press the chest towards the thighs. Give the head a little shake, yes and no. And then look up at your hands. Either take a slow walk or you can just step up to meet the hands. And then allow the knees to bend, hang forward into your ragdoll. Maybe clasp opposite elbows and find a little sway here. Grounding all four corners of the feet. Let the head be nice and heavy. And then release the hands if the arms were clasped. Let's inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine, hands come to the legs for support. Exhale, let it go. 2 more times. Engage the belly, draw up on the belly button as you come up to halfway. Exhale, let it go. 1 more time. Inhale, press through the feet, halfway. Exhale, soften and fold. Bend the knees generously, press into the heels, start a slow roll up. Chin is the last thing to lift. And when you arrive, take your time, make any adjustments you need, shake it out if you need to. Grab a sip of water if you need to. This is your practice. Go ahead and clear any props away from the mat, but do keep at least one block nearby, so within reach. Doesn't have to be directly on your mat. And then we're going to come into our mountain. So feet are about hip distance apart. They can be a little closer if that makes you feel more stable. Press into the feet and imagine that you could slide them away from each other. So this is really going to engage the legs. And then let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take the hands down to heart center. Inhale, palms still together, press the hands up. And exhale, open the arms wide. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale to reach. And exhale, take the hands together at the heart. Inhale, hands lift. And exhale, open them wide. 1 more time, just like that. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Palms press together. Exhale, take them down to the heart. And inhale to lift. And exhale to open. This time, let's inhale, reach the arms up. Grab a hold of that right wrist gently. Pull it up towards the ceiling first, and then over to the left. So finding your side bend, pressing that right hip to the right. And then coming back up to center. Grab hold of the left wrist, gently pull up towards the ceiling and over to the right. Press that left hip to the left. And then come back up to center. Press the palms together. And let's take the left hand back, right hand forward. So we're taking our twist. See if you can keep the arms strong, fingers really reaching in either direction, but soften the shoulders. And inhale, back up to center, palms touch, press through the feet. Exhale, twist the opposite way. Left hand forward, right arm back. Remember, extend out past your fingertips. Arms are strong, but soften the shoulders, lift the chest. And inhale, back to center, press the palms together. Exhale, hands down to the heart. All right, let's go ahead and release the hands. So we're gonna take some stretches into the legs now, and we're gonna set up almost like warrior one, but we're not going there quite yet. So take a big step back with your right foot, left foot. Doesn't matter, we'll do both sides. Make sure that your feet are parallel to the mat though. So normally in Warrior One, we turn the back toes out. So maybe shorten the stance just a little bit so that you can get all 10 toes facing directly forward. If you're feeling a little off balance, you can widen the feet, and hip bones are shining forward as well. And then I'm going to take my hands to the back of my hips, so almost to my low back, almost like I'm tucking them into my back pockets, but not quite. And I'm going to find a gentle bend in the front knee. And I'm going to lift my heart. So I'm squeezing my elbows together. You should feel this in the front of that back thigh. So I'm pressing that back heel down. Give it one more breath. And then slowly straighten that front leg. We're going to step our back foot forward and we're going to take the other side. So you can release the arms if you need to in the meantime. Step the other foot back, all 10 toes facing forward again. Make sure, look back at your back foot. Hip bones are forward. Go ahead and tuck the hands into your back pockets or right against the low back is where my heels are, the heels of my hands are. And then find that bend in the front knee. Hug the elbows together, so open the chest. Little tiny back bend here. So I'm pressing my back heel down. Give it one more breath. And then slowly come back and up. Step that back foot forward. Go ahead and grab your block and put it on your mat, maybe towards the center. Doesn't have to be directly in front of you, just within reach. We're going to move from Warrior One to Pyramid, and you may want your block in Pyramid. So we're switching feet again. And this time we are going into Warrior One. So I'm stepping my right foot back. It may not look that way to you because we're mirroring. So if you started on your right foot before, go ahead and start with that foot now. This time my toes are going to be at a 45-degree angle. So my right toes are not pointing straight forward, but my left toes are. And I'm going to dial that right hand on the hip, take it forward. So my hips are squared again. Find that bend into your left knee. Maybe scoot that foot a little further forward. You just don't want to bend so the knee is going past the ankle. I'm pressing my back heel down, really engaging the leg. Hands can stay on the hips. They can come together at the heart, or they can reach up. Warrior One. If you're reaching the arms up, make sure that you're not squeezing the shoulders up too. So relax the shoulders, lift from the chest and forehead. Give it one more breath. And then slowly release the hands to the hips, straighten through that front leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to hinge at the hips, sending your tailbone back as you fold, coming into pyramid. Hands can release to the leg if that's more comfortable, the thigh or the shin. Or you can release them to a block or two blocks. Blocks can be on any height. Or if you have a little bit more mobility in your legs today, you can fold all the way, hands down on the mat. And you want to think about drawing that left hip back, but you can keep a little bit of a bend in that left knee. And in fact, if you feel any pain or pinching in that leg, please go ahead and bend the knee more. Softening the head and neck. Maybe even taking a little gentle shake of the head. Make sure there's no tension in the neck. Give it one more breath here. And then slowly rebend through that left knee. Take the hands to the top of the thigh, press through both feet to come all the way up. And take as many steps as you need to get that back foot forward. Go ahead and shake out the legs if you need to. We're going to take the other side. So opposite foot, If you were not with us on the right, then go ahead and switch. If you were with me, go ahead and step that left foot back. Take your time to make sure you're feeling stable. So take the feet wider towards the edges of your mat if you need to. Back toes are at that 45-degree angle. Front toes are pointing straight forward. Left hand guides that left hip so the hips are both square with your mat. And then find that bend in the right knee. Pressing that left heel down. And again, make sure that the knee and the ankle are stacked. So you may want to bend each knee a little differently. Make sure that you scoot that foot forward if you want a deeper bend. Hands can stay on the hips. They can go to the heart, or they can lift up. Remember to soften the shoulders. If they're lifted, give yourself plenty of space between the arms and the ears. Give it one more breath here. Maybe lift the forehead, maybe the chest. And then release the hands to the hips. Go ahead and straighten through that front leg. Inhale to lengthen the spine here. And exhale, we start to fold into our pyramid. Sending the hips back. Bending the knee if you need to. Hands can land on the leg itself, or they can come all the way down to a block on any height, or all the way down to the mat. Thinking about drawing that right hip crease back. That's going to straighten the leg a little bit, so go ahead and rebend it if you need to. Softening the head and neck. Softening the forehead and jaw. Reconnecting with your breath with the rise and fall. Give it one more breath here. And then go ahead and rebend that front knee. Take the hands to the top of the thigh, press through the feet to come back up. And step that back foot forward. Go ahead and shake it out. And then let's go ahead and grab both of our blocks. And I'm going to stack them. And I'm going to put them down on my mat. I'm going to face you, so my blocks are going to be facing a different direction than yours are. But you want the long edges of the block to be parallel with the short edges of your mat. We're going to be moving into our supported malasana or low squat. So blocks are behind you. If you're not me, they're going to look like this with the blocks behind you. All right, so we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, hands together at the heart as you fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, belly draws in. Exhale, soften and fold. We're going to bend the knees enough that you can get at least your fingertips down on the mat, and then take your feet as wide as your mat. And turn the heels in and the toes out. And then bend into the knees. Start to lower your bum all down to the blocks. Very nice. All right. And then we're going to use our elbows to press the knees even wider. So you're pressing the elbows into the knees, pressing the knees into the elbows. And you're using that to allow you to lift the heart. Breathing, making any adjustments you need to. Take one more breath here in center. And then we're going to go ahead and release that left hand down. And I'm still going to press the left arm into that left leg to press it out to the side. And I'm going to inhale, send the right fingertips up. And then gently release. Other side. Right arm's going to gently press into that right knee to keep it open. Left arm's going to come up. Oops. And then slowly release. As gracefully as is humanly possible, come off of your blocks. So take your time, basically. Just being mindful in transitions. We're going to make our way down to our back. So you're going to want your strap, but you don't need your blocks. So you can set them aside. Just making sure you have any props that you're going to want for your Shavasana nearby. All right. So we'll make our way down onto our back. Excuse me. And when you arrive, you can take some windshield wipers with the feet as wide as your mat, or you can hug the knees into the chest and maybe rock a little side to side. Or maybe take the knees in a nice slow circle. First one way, and then the other. And then go ahead and release that left foot to the floor. And we're going to hug that right knee into the chest. Maybe take a couple of ankle circles here. Make sure you go in both directions. And then I'm going to open that right knee out towards my right shoulder. So I'm opening up the hip. And then I'm going to point the bottom of my right foot up towards the ceiling. So we're coming into half happy baby. Maybe this is enough for you. Maybe just holding on behind the knee or the thigh. You can also reach for the ankle or the foot on either side. You can even reach between the big and second toe and clasp on with your fingers. So you're thinking about drawing that right knee all the way down to the floor, even if it's coming nowhere close. Right foot is flexed. Breathing into that right hip. Maybe you want to stay here, or maybe you want to extend that left leg long down your mat. If you're extending the leg long, the foot is flexed and you're pressing your left thigh down towards the mat. Give it one more breath wherever you are. And then nice and slow, rebend that left knee. And go ahead and release your right foot. Take your feet wide and do some windshield wipers with the knees. And we'll take the other side. Excuse me. So right foot's going to stay on the mat with the knee bent. Hug that left knee into the chest. Maybe take a few ankle circles. Make sure you go in both directions. And then we're going to open that left knee out towards the left shoulder. Maybe staying here. You can even keep that knee fully bent with the foot down and open the hip from here. Or you can point the bottom of the left foot up towards the ceiling, flexing that foot, holding on behind the knee or thigh, holding on to the ankle or anywhere on the foot. Letting that left knee drop out to the side. Taking some deep, deep, full breaths. And then maybe staying here, or maybe extending that right leg long down your mat. If the leg is extended, flexing that foot, pressing that right thigh down. My right thigh is not touching the mat. In fact, most of my leg is not touching. It's just the act of pressing it down that's going to activate those muscles. So breathing wherever you are. One more breath. And then rebend that right knee. Go ahead and release the left foot down to the mat. Take those windshield wipers one more time. And then from here, go ahead and grab your strap. I'm going to scoot over a little so I have a little bit more room. And we're going to hug that right knee into the chest again and take the end of the strap, or I'm sorry, the middle of the strap around the bottom of that right foot and extend the foot up towards the ceiling. And you can keep as much of a bend in that right knee as you need to. Maybe pointing and flexing the foot a little bit. And then taking the foot back to center, go ahead and flex it. And I'm going to extend my left leg long. You can keep the left foot bent for this first part if you want to, but I'm going to extend mine long. It's going to give me a little bit more of a hamstring stretch. And I'm going to flex that left foot so like I'm really standing up on it. Pressing that left hip down. I'm going to take both ends of the strap into my right hand, and I'm going to start to open my right foot to the right, only going as much as is comfortable. So even if you have a lot of flexibility in your foot, in the hip, even if you can get that right foot all the way down to the floor, please do not. You want to hold it up. So both feet are flexed and active as if you're pressing them into a wall. Both shoulder blades, both glutes are still on the mat. If you find that left hip lifting a little bit, go ahead and bring your right foot a little bit further back. Give it one more stretch here. And then nice and slow, start to take that right foot back to center. Use your core to help you here. Take both ends of the strap into the left hand. If your left knee is still bent, go ahead and extend the leg. And we're going to slowly start to take that right foot over to the left. So only going as much as is comfortable. This time it's totally okay. And in fact, you should let that right hip lift. Here is where you might need to bend the knee. So left toes don't have to be as active anymore. It's okay to just let them be where they are. But this is a really intense IT band stretch. So if you're feeling any pain, any pinch, you get all in the back of that right leg, bend that knee more. Right foot is still flexed and active. And again, even if you have a lot of flexibility here, you do not want that right foot touching the floor. Breathing into the right hip. You can open the right arm out to the right if you'd like. Both shoulders are still on the mat, even if that right hip is lifted. Give it one more deep, deep, full breath wherever you are. And then rebend the right knee first before bringing it back to center. Go ahead and release the strap. Just set it aside for a moment. Extend that right leg long. So both legs are extended. Reach the arms up overhead. Point through the toes. Reach through the fingers. And then release the arms down. Let's go ahead and take the other side. So bend both knees first. Right foot is going to stay flat on the mat. I'm going to hug that left knee in and take the strap around the bottom of the left foot. And once you have that, maybe flexing and pointing the foot a couple of times. And remember, take as much of a bend in that left knee as you want. Each side is different, so everybody's got a side that is less flexible or just a little tighter. Sometimes that will be the same side. Sometimes it will switch depending on the day. And then go ahead and flex that left foot. If you want to extend the right leg here, you can. So extend it long down your mat, flex into both feet, press that right hip down towards the mat. Take both ends of the strap into the left hand now. Inhale here. Exhale, start to open that left foot out to the left, only going as far as you can while keeping that right hip on the mat, the right glute. Both feet are flexed and active. And breathing. I like to keep my right hand on my right hip as a reminder to not let that hip lift. Take one more breath here. And then use your core to help you draw that left foot back up to center. The right foot can relax a bit more. And we're going to start to take that left foot over to the right. And I'm letting my left hip lift almost completely off the mat, but only as far as you can keep that left shoulder down. So you still want the left shoulder blade on the mat. You can open the arm, the left arm out to the left, or you can take a half cactus arm. And that left leg can be bent in the knee. Left toes are still active though. So especially if you're feeling any pain or pinching, take a deep bend in that knee. Breathing wherever you are. Give it one more deep, deep breath here. And then rebend that knee very deeply, that left knee. Take it back to center. Release the strap. Go ahead and bend both knees. Hug them into the chest. Maybe rock a little side to side. If it's more comfortable to take windshield wipers, you can. And then release the feet to the mat. Begin to set up for your Shavasana. Any comfortable pose for you today. Using any of your props to support you. And if you need to take any final poses, maybe a reclined butterfly or a full happy baby on the way to Shavasana, please go ahead. You can even stay in reclined butterfly for Shavasana if that feels good, maybe taking blocks under the knees. And when you have your final resting pose, allowing the arms to be by the sides with the palms face up or on the hands on the belly if that's more comfortable. Allowing the eyes to soften or close. And let's take a deep, deep, full breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Deep, deep, full breath in. Long sigh out. And one more time, deepest breath you've taken all morning. And let it go. And feel the yoga mat supporting you. Feel the earth rising up to meet you. And creating a safe space to begin to soften and release anything you're still holding on to, any tension in the muscles. Just letting it drain away. Softening the face across the forehead and the jaw. Softening the belly. Allowing the shoulders and hips to grow heavy, creating this opening in the chest and in the pelvis. Relaxing the hands, the feet, the fingers and toes. And if thoughts come up here, as they usually do, doing your best not to attach, just watching them float by one at a time and moving on to the next and the next, and letting go of anything that's no longer serving you. Beginning to draw your attention back to the rise and fall of your breath. And beginning to deepen each inhale and lengthen each exhale. And finding any movement that feels good in the fingers and the toes. Maybe rotating the wrists or the ankles. Maybe gently turning the head from side to side. You can reach the arms overhead, pointing through the toes, taking a full body stretch if it's calling you, or you can bend your knees and draw them into the chest or any other movement that feels good. When you're ready, bending the knees if they aren't already, making your way onto one side, whichever side is calling you, and gently pressing up, coming back to your comfortable seat. Taking your time to arrive and sitting up nice and tall. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Just noticing how you're feeling now at the end of your practice. If it feels comfortable, you can draw the hands together at the heart, sealing in your time on your mat today. Taking a moment of gratitude to yourself for making this time to be with your breath and the movement of your body. I am so grateful for all of you, for the community that we share. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.